Sorry, I don't know if something's happening. I'm still seeing the business card type thing.
Yes, we are about to
Oh.
start. I think that people will just be added onto the video as we go along. But again, I'll let Melanie again introduce herself. But this is the fourth module of the training, and it is pre-recorded. I'll just hand over to Melanie, and then we'll start the video. Thanks, Mel.
Hi guys. My email's on the screen. This is a pre-recorded session. It's session 4. In the event of any questions, please email me. You can see my email address on the screen. Thank you. Marv, we can start. Information leaflet and the professional information leaflet, the difference between the two. And then also we'll be running through the CBD patient information leaflet. That's the leaflet that goes with your CBD products. That's the leaflet that you give to your clients when they purchase Cannafrica CBD products for them to take home. I just want you to know what's in that leaflet so that you're not looking for information. It's also a really nice tool. If you know that, if you know what's in that leaflet, it's a lot easier to explain the products. Okay, and then why Cannafrica CBD? Okay, what is CBD? The second most prevalent active ingredient in cannabis. It doesn't cause a high on its own, and it exhibits no effect indicative of abuse or dependence potential. So people can't become addicted to CBD. Okay, there's no evidence of public health related problems associated with the use of pure CBD if it's not being mixed with anything else. Please bear this in mind, that it's pure CBD. They're not mixing it with anything. Okay, CBD interacts with the endocannabinoid system, and the endocannabinoid system is a biological system of neurotransmitters and receptors that are spread throughout our bodies. This system is helpful in regulating major bodily functions and promoting homeostasis. Homeostasis is to maintain and enhance general health. Okay, that's what it means. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the endocannabinoid system because I think James has already touched on that. There are some really nice videos that I'll be sharing with you as well on the endocannabinoid system, and you can take a look at that. Okay, moving on. CBD has many benefits, as you can see. And I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what that looks like. But for the purpose of this training session, we're only going to be focusing on very few. But if it's a nice, easy way to remember it, is it's movement and mood disorders. So your movement disorders are like your Parkinson's, your dystonia, those kinds of things can be helped with CBD. And then your mood disorders are your depression and anxiety. CBD works well for those two as well. Okay, but for the purpose of this training session, we'll be speaking about the analgesic effect, pain relieving effect of CBD, the anti-inflammatory effect of CBD, the anxiolytic, which is anti-anxiety, and the antiemetic, anti-nausea effect of CBD. It also acts as a sleep aid. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, little guy vomiting over there in the corner, and the poor guy that's super anxious and cannot fall asleep, struggling from insomnia at something to 3 in the morning. Okay, so CBD can work for all of these things. Okay. The benefits of CBD is that it has a good safety profile. You can't overdose on it. Unlike your opiates and those kinds of things, and your normal painkillers can cause constipation. I don't know if anyone's aware of that. So that's also a nice topic to, when people say they're on so many painkillers, you've got to also remember that oftentimes those people are constipated. So you'd like to give them a product that has an MCT oil or something in it, so it has a laxative effect. And that's a bit gross, but we need to be realistic about what it is we're selling and have nice in-depth product knowledge. Okay, so it's got a good safety profile. Just also remember that your CBD won't suppress breathing or your heart rate, unlike opiates, because that's what opiates do. You overdose on an opiate, you can die. You overdose on a CBD, you probably feel a little bit more. Okay, there's a lack of psychoactivity activity, meaning that you won't get high from it, as with a product with THC. And then again, CBD has a lot of reported beneficial pharmacological effects. And when I say reported beneficial pharmacological effects, I'm talking where it's been studied. There are studies at the end of this presentation that you can refer to, and you'll see keywords like this: analgesic, anti-inflammatory, anxiolytic, mood lifting, insomnia. There will be keywords in there, and you can go and read up on those studies. Okay, and you're welcome to share those studies with any patients or clients that come in and ask questions. CBD has been shown to maintain and enhance general health, which is homeostasis, as mentioned earlier. I'm just going to read this. I'm sorry, but I want you guys just to also understand. In an online survey, almost 62% of CBD users reported using CBD to treat a medical condition, particularly pain, anxiety, and depression. So those are the main areas of concern, and that's what people are using CBD for. Interestingly, most people surveyed reported that CBD relieves their symptoms effectively by itself and without serious side effects. So a lot of times people would use one product with another product to get the desired effect. CBD on its own can have that desired effect. Okay. Now, let me just go to my notes. I don't want to miss out on anything over here. The different types of CBD. Okay. So it's all CBD, but there are different types. So full spectrum CBD has, you know what, I'm actually going to go to the next slide, and then we'll move back to that one. Full spectrum CBD is whole plant, okay, and it's got a mild to strong flavor. You can still taste, it's got that cannabis taste to it, okay, but it's got all the other cannabinoids and the terpenes, the flavonoids, and the waxes and lipids in it that you would normally find in a CBD product. But it's the THC is present, but it's present in legal amounts. So it's a hemp plant, okay, but very, very low amount of THC, okay, versus your broad spectrum where the THC, it's the whole plant, but they've removed the THC. Also has that flavor. You can taste its cannabis. It's got a cannabinoid flavor, and it still contains terpenes, flavonoids, waxes, and lipids. Then you've got isolate, which is just CBD. So your broad spectrum is where they've taken the THC out, and your isolate is where they've removed. Let me start over. Broad spectrum is where they've taken just the THC out of the whole plant, and now you're sitting with the rest of the plant. Isolate is where they've taken only the CBD out, and you only got CBD, nothing else. They've isolated the CBD. Okay, so if you go back to my previous slide, your broad spectrum product on your shelves is your CBD Pro. That 1% product is made with broad spectrum CBD. Okay, your CBD isolate product is your CBD 2%, 6%, your CBD pets, that CBD coffee, your CBD jellies, the Cannafrica jellies that we have, and the CBD lollies. The CBD lollies are also made using just CBD isolate. Okay, so you're not going to have that whole other profile with the terpenes, the flavonoids, and the essential fatty acids. It's just, when it's isolate, it's just CBD. Okay, moving on, cannabis and legislation. Let me just go to my notes. I don't want to miss out on anything. And then we have an issue. Okay. So, everyone's heard of SAHPRA. It's the South African Health Products Regulation Authority. So SAHPRA has a scheduling status. This is how medication is scheduled. So if it's a Schedule 0, which is what our Cannafrica buy them over the counter, okay? Schedule 1 is also over the counter. Schedule 2, you need a prescription for it. 3 to 6, also prescription, products that need prescription. 7 is banned substances, and 8 is also banned substances. I think those are like your opiates and stuff like that. Opiates are Schedule 8. Okay, I just need you to know the scheduling status so that you understand where Schedule 0 fits in, where the Schedule 0 fits in. And a Schedule 0, the sign for Schedule 0 is an S with a 0 next to it inside a black box. And you'll find that on loads of products. Just take a look at anything. Even your Dettol has scheduling on it, and your hand wash has your medical grade Dismed hand wash. That also has a scheduling status on it. So just so that you understand where it all fits in. Okay, moving on. So this was taken off the SAHPRA website. Please go ahead and go and take a look on the SAHPRA website and familiarize yourself. Okay, this is the scheduling status for CBD. CBD is either Schedule 0 if it complies with regulation, and it's point number 1, 2, 3, 4 under Schedule 0. May not contain more than 600 milligrams of CBD per sales pack. Anything more than that becomes a Schedule 4. May not provide more than 20 milligrams of CBD as a daily dose. So if you think 20 milligrams times 30 days, you're looking at 600 milligrams. So they've thought of it in, when you buy monthly medication, that's why SAHPRA's done it that way. Okay? I'm not going to go into very much more over here. Anything more than 600 milligrams of CBD in a pack is Schedule 4, which needs a prescription. THC, this is our THC schedule. THC by law is a Schedule 6 product, and it is only a Schedule 0 if it does not contain more than 0.00% of THC, and it is not allowed to make any health or therapeutic claim. Please, again, I invite you, go and look at the SAHPRA website. They've got some really nice explanations. I'm also going to be sharing the SAHPRA, let me make a note of that, the SAHPRA presentations on the site for you. Okay? Just write that down. Apologies. Moving on. What makes a product Schedule 0? For the purposes of this training session, we're going to be focusing on Schedule 0 because that's relevant for us for our Cannafrica CBD products. Okay? Schedule 0 product may be sold in any retail outlet as a Schedule 0. It may be advertised to the public, and it may only make a general health claim. So they can say stuff like may aid in the management of pain. They cannot say will decrease pain. You cannot. It's a direct claim. It's not a general claim. It's a direct claim, and that's not allowed by the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority. Okay, and again, just to recap, it may not contain more than 400 milligrams of CBD per pack, and it may not exceed the 20 milligram daily dose of CBD, and it may only be manufactured in a SAHPRA licensed facility. Okay, we've gone to great lengths to make sure that our Cannafrica CBD products are manufactured in a licensed facility. I mean, those products are not just mixed in anyone's kitchen. They are made in a proper factory with proper regulations. Okay, it's been licensed. Okay. So when people, just going back there, when people ask you, oh, but if I go to the shop down the road, I can get cannabis oil for half the price, or it's a little bit cheaper. You need to educate them. Yeah, but where was it manufactured? In our costing is the manufacture of these products in a licensed facility. And even though it's manufactured in a licensed facility, our pricing is still incredibly competitive. Okay, moving on. Cannafrica CBD medicines. These are the 4 medicines that we have available. CBD Pro, and that's 300 milligrams per 30 ml, and that's a 1% concentration. Let me actually go on to the next slide. These are just the pictures of the Cannafrica CBD products. I don't have the CBD Pro in here, but if I just move to the next slide, I think this is a better slide in terms of dosage and indication. Okay, so if you look at your patient information leaflet, the patient information leaflet is exactly the same across the board because your active ingredients are the same. Okay. The only difference on your patient information leaflet, which we'll get to in a moment, is your dosage and your indication. Okay, so if you look at this, if you know this slide here, you basically are good to go. CBD Pro is at a concentration of 1%. It's 300 milligrams per 30 ml with a maximum of 2 ml daily. If they want to take a ml in the morning, a ml at night, they can do it. They can split it up, but they mustn't overdo. They mustn't go over that amount, blah, blah, blah. Mustn't go over that amount, okay? And it may assist in maintaining health and vitality. CBD 2% is at a concentration of 2%, 600 milligrams per 30 ml, and it's a maximum of 1 ml daily. Also may assist in maintaining health and vitality. Please remember, the 2 indications for these 2 products are the same because although it's double the amount, it's actually not that much more, okay? CBD 6%, again, maximum 600 milligrams in a 10 ml, okay, and it's the maximum dose of 0.33 ml daily. That comes in with a graduated dropper so people can see exactly how much they need, okay, and it may assist with the relief of symptoms associated with stress. And again, you can see those claims may assist. We're not making any direct claims. CBD pets is 250 milligrams per 10 mils, and there's a maximum dose of 0.5 mils daily. It may assist with pain relief and to help keep your pet relaxed. It's a good product to use when there's fireworks and stuff like that going on. Let's move on to our next slide. Okay, the difference between a PI and a PIL. I know it sounds, because both of them, the acronym is PIL, but in the pharmaceutical industry, one is a PI and one is a PIL. Okay? Okay, professional information leaflet is especially designed for use by healthcare professionals. So please understand that the jargon and the content is tailored for healthcare professionals. That will be available on our website shortly. And then just moving on, the patient information leaflet, which is what we've disseminated to all the stores. That's for the patient. It's for the person taking the product home. You give it to them, they take it home, and it helps them understand the product better. Okay, it's a leaflet especially designed to be used by the patient. It feels more personal, and the leaflets are written in a more considered, patient-centered way with minimal medical jargon. Okay, so the contents of the Cannafrica CBD PIL patient information leaflet, we're going to run into that quickly. Please understand that the contents of that PIL is the same across the board for the products. The only thing that's different will be the indication and the dosage for every product. So that blue grid that you saw earlier, those are the only differences that you'd see on them. Okay, and the CBD Pro product is made with broad spectrum, whereas your 2%, your 6%, and your pets is made with CBD isolate. That's the other difference. Okay, let's move on. What you need to know before you use Cannafrica CBD. Don't use Cannafrica CBD if you are hypersensitive or allergic to any of the ingredients in the product, okay? Or if you are taking antidepressants or sleeping tablets. Warnings and special precautions. If you have liver problems, you need to speak to your doctor before and during treatment, just to make sure that you are able to use this product. Children. On children, it's not indicated for use in children under the age of 18 years. There are standard SAPRA phrases that we need to include in our patient information leaflets, and this is one of them, and the ones with pregnancy and breastfeeding. So it's not indicated for children under the age of 18 years. Please, if parents want to use this, there's a lot of information saying that it does work for epilepsy and ADHD. There's beautiful studies at the end by Davinsky. I think I've included 2 studies. It's on the Dravet syndrome. If you are more than welcome to share that with parents if they want to, use CBD for their children. But in the event of them wanting to use it, they need to do it as at their own discretion. Okay, moving on. You need to tell your healthcare professional, your healthcare provider, if you are taking any other medications, be this complementary or traditional. This is very important. If you're using any other complementary or traditional medicines, you need to be open. Your client needs to be open about the use of these medications. Okay. I'm not going to run through this whole list, but it's important that you know it's there. If people come and they say to you, oh, can I use CBD? I'm on X, Y, and Z. Familiarize yourself with this, or hand them the patient information leaflet and say to them, well, these are the products that are contraindicated for the use of CBD, with the use of CBD, so that they can then use their own discretion as to whether or not they want to use this product. Okay. Then, again, fat and fat-containing foods may increase the effect of Cannafrica CBD, and you don't use it with alcohol because it can cause drowsiness. With pregnancy and breastfeeding, they need to speak to their pharmacist or healthcare professional before they take this medication. Okay. Don't share your medicine with anyone else, and use it exactly as what it states in the leaflet. Don't exceed the recommended daily dose, because that's it. There's a reason why that's the recommended daily dose. Also, there are no known cases of overdose, and in the event of overdose, you need to consult your doctor or your pharmacist. Okay. But there again, there are no known cases of overdose. And if you forget to take your Cannafrica CBD, you take your next dose at its regular time. Don't go, you've forgotten to take it this morning, so now it's 12 o'clock, now you're going to take it, but you're going to take another dose again this evening, and then you've exceeded your daily dose. Don't do that. Just don't take a double dose, take your normal dose at the normal time. Okay. Cannafrica CBD can have side effects. These are the listed side effects. Irritability, agitation, drowsiness, tiredness, sedation, inability to sleep, a decrease in appetite, a decrease in weight, vomiting, diarrhea, and rash. Again, these are side effects, but they are very, very rare. So just be aware of that. Any side effects should be reported to the medical science liaison. If someone comes in after buying the product and says that they had a terrible night and they had a rash and they were vomiting, etc., please, you need to email me. Let me know immediately. I need the person's name, email address, and contact number so that we can deal with it as an adverse drug reaction. And it needs to be dealt with quite seriously. So please take that information. Okay, how do you store your Cannafrica CBD? It's the exact same way you store any other medication. You store it upright, you keep all your medication out of reach of children in a cool, dry place. You don't store it in the bathroom, you don't refrigerate it. If it gets too cold, it could congeal, means it could actually get thick, and you might have a problem getting it up into that dropper. Okay, don't use it obviously after the expiry date stated on the label. Everything else here is self-explanatory. Okay, so Cannafrica CBD contains, so I just need you to be aware of these two differences. The active substance in CBD Pro, that 1%, is broad spectrum CBD, so it's just taking the THC out. The active substance in CBD 2%, 6%, and PETs is CBD isolate. The other inactive ingredients are hemp seed oil. Okay, and then your broad spectrum is hemp seed mixed with a little bit of sunflower oil, so it's a little bit smoother on the tummy. Okay, Cannafrica CBD the look and feel of the product. It's a yellow liquid, a yellow oil in an amber glass bottle, or a blue bottle for the CBD Pro product. Okay, it's got a black screw-on lid with an enclosed dropper. Okay. Moving on, why Cannafrica CBD? So Cannafrica CBD, most of the products are pure CBD isolate besides the broad spectrum that I've just mentioned in the CBD Pro product. Everything is THC free, it's premium grade. Please understand that we don't buy the cheapest product on the market. We hunt for the best product with the best COA, which is Certificate of Analysis. We know exactly what's going into our products. Everything's laboratory tested. I've got certificates of analysis for everything we sell. Everything is properly quality controlled, and it's sugar-free, so it's safe for diabetics. Okay, that brings us to the end of our training. If you look, I'm just trying to find the study that I mentioned for the Davinsky. Here we go. It's the two second last ones, or the third last and the second last study. Those are the studies on epilepsy, and because I know it's a very sticky situation when it comes to children, but again, rather step away from that. Tell the parents, it's not advised for kids, but it's at your own discretion. There are two studies that say it works, but it's entirely up to you, and please speak to your doctor before using it. We need to remember that we have to be responsible as well. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that this was informative. Thanks so much. Thank you, everyone. Please email me your questions at Dean's question. Your CBD content would need to be under 600 milligrams per pack and not more than 20 milligrams per day. So, but please, Dean, send me your questions and we can answer them, and I'll go on to the frequently asked questions. Thank you. Look forward to seeing everyone again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cool. Is the meeting over now? I think there is actually questions.
So go ahead.
Yeah, so it's the most informative part of this was actually that even CBD, which everyone thinks is like a willy-nilly substance actually does have SAPRA-related, how can I put it, conditions, or not conditions, where, like you said, you can only have like 600 milligrams in a bag or a product. And that type of information is actually quite informative. So I must say thank you for that.
Pleasure, Dean.
But I also think
Do
it's
any-
an interesting point to also make, that I think that policymakers are working behind the scenes in trying to create a framework. And I think because it's an emerging industry, we often having to find policymakers finding their feet. But I think SAPRA is pioneering and leading that way. Sorry, Mel, you can carry on.
No, thank you, Marvin. Are there any other questions?
No, I must say I'm using the 6% CBD oil on myself.
Okay.
I'm not sticking to your guideline, but
Don't
it does
tell
help.
me that, Dean.
It does help. No. I'm quite impressed with it. The taste is actually terrible, but it does help.
Dean, do you want to share? Do you want to share why what you're using it for? If
Anxiety. I have serious anxiety issues.
okay, and what's the
So
difference?
I'm using it for anxiety.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, Dean.
Okay.
Are there any other questions? If you think of something later on, please email me so that we can add them to our frequently asked questions. Reason being, everybody doesn't always feel comfortable asking on this type of platform, and they'll feel more comfortable just sending me an email. It will remain anonymous. So yeah, just send an email and then all the answers will be posted on the link. I don't know, the techno stuff doesn't, I'm not very good with the technology stuff, but Marvin will be posting frequently asked questions somewhere.
Yeah, so this meeting is being killed in 4 minutes and 3 seconds. So let me just say it this way. I think you must send everyone free 6% CBD before these meetings, and then they'll be chilled and they'll ask all their questions.
I'll put that to our finance department.
Okay, now that's my 5 cents.
Thank you,
But
everybody.
this is good. But thanks. This was actually quite informative.
Okay, I'm glad. Thank you, everyone.